I'll sit down by Kim, and she doesn't want to be there. We both smell good this morning. How would you smell good, you said here?
Jimmy, I think it's your turn today.
When,
We're good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Welcome back, Jared. All right, I call this meeting of the Young County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show it's 9:32 a.m. All 5 members of the court are present. We're streaming live on our YouTube channel. And if you are watching and you want to call in and make a comment, you may call in on 940-221-2107. If you're able, please stand for our invocation and pledges. Commissioner Wiley has the honors today.
Let's pray. Father, for this new day, we say thank you, Father, for another day, a new day of mercy and grace. Father, we thank you, Father, for this opportunity to serve in this capacity, Father. Father, we ask, Father, that you lead, guide, and direct, Father. Father, as we go through this day, Lord, I just pray for wisdom and guide and direction in all decisions that are made, Father. And we ask, Father, that you go with us. Be with the first responders, Father. Be with those that are out protecting us, Father, both foreign and domestic. We ask, Father, that you just go with them and guide and direct them. Father, be with those families that lost their loved ones. We ask for comfort and peace that only you can give. Father, we ask you to go with them. Thank you for the rain that you sent us and know that that's what you're about to do. Give us what we failed you. We ask all this in your precious name. Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you, Jimmy. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Stacy Cresswell is in the building. All right. Let's move to item number 3, public comments. Do we have any public comments today? Yes.
I told Scott earlier I was going to visit, excuse me, about the solar farms.
Okay.
That's right. First, I wanted to give y'all a copy of, as of Friday, the Treasury Department put out a explanation of the subsidy requirement for wind and solar. And this I got off the internet yesterday, and I think I may have shorted somebody on some, one or the other, or two.
Oh, yeah. Am I supposed to?
Okay. I got,
I think I got everything.
you got one?
Yeah.
Two. Maybe I have extra. Anyway, this is just, and you can read that anytime at your leisure, but an explanation. The way I've interpreted it is any of these solar or wind projects that must start before July of 2026 to start qualifying, that's on or before. And then they must substantially be completed, sort of like going online by December of 29.
For what?
To get these subsidies.
Okay.
This 30% tax credit. that
And then this is a
goes in.
federal
That's a
federal
tax
subsidy?
subsidy.
Okay.
That's in there, and that was, before this, they had about 4 years, and they could say, well, we spent 5% of the cost of the project,
Mhm.
and we qualify for that under the Biden administration. So it all changed with the big, beautiful bill. Well, as of Friday, the project committee, there's a dozer that that moved in on that property right next to me on the.
So they're clearing it?
Howard Kenya started clearing it. The started roads in there, they put about, I don't know, I lost count, but there was probably at least 15 or so, loads of rock went in there. And it was strange, they cut what looked like a fire guard for about 200 yards. Then they went to the gate, if you're familiar with that old cut shawl, it was a gate that was about halfway down that property, just a 2-track that went back in where the corrals were. But they went in there about a few yards, and then they cut to the east, and then went back north. And you could hear that dozer running back in there this morning. That's another one that's a result of the trucks turning in there, a little bit of road damage.
This is state highway.
That's the
Upward market.
FM 1974. That was just one of the big oaks that they pushed down, so anyway, you can pass those around and do what you need to with them. But I guess my whole point in saying this is that if they think in their mind they've started this project, well, they're coming, and they're gonna do it. So why, at this point, should we consider giving them a tax abatement or a discount when they're gonna come anyway? Let's let them put it in, let's tax them for the whole amount each year, just like you and I get taxed without a discount. So that's my push, is that, you know, it's gonna be here, let's tax them. One other question, Judge, have they released that environmental impact?
I reported a couple of weeks ago that, is that just road, what is that? Is that just?
That's just road damage.
Road damage? Okay.
Trucks.
So, I talked to them, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, and they confirmed that the environmental report has been completed. It was done, and I asked for them to give me a copy of it. And they said they didn't have a problem with giving me a copy of it, but they wanted their lawyers to make sure that they weren't violating anything in their agreement with the consultant. And I haven't heard anything back on it. But I know that there's been correspondence between them and our consultant, but I haven't had any, after that, I haven't had any interaction, but I know that they're talking.
Well, I mean, with them, in my opinion, substantially starting this project, looks like number one, we ought to be able to see the environmental impact. You know, when we first started this back in February, we said we wanted to see that before they got started. Well, the horse is halfway down the road. So
We can't control somebody clearing their land off. Their
No.
landowner. I cleared my land off, and there's nobody gonna tell me what to
But
do
this
on my
is
land.
not the landowner.
You don't know that.
I do know.
Yes,
Because I know the landowner. And it's not him clearing land. Trust me.
Well, that's good information. I'm glad to know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great information. Would you like to say something? You bet. And just everyone who speak, has everyone signed the sheet? Did y'all?
Yes.
You did, perfect.
First thing I wanted to ask about was, on our road, where we're off of on Conwell Road,
Uh-huh.
we have a hill there that is extremely dangerous. I've almost been hit twice.
Okay.
You cannot see way back or anywhere. That hill.
And is this a county road?
Huh?
It is a county road?
It's a county road.
Okay.
And I've talked to you about it, and it is so rough. I mean, we buy good trucks, buy new trucks, and they're just dragged out because of the roads. We can't seem to get you out there to do anything on it, and we've asked you several times, and, they probably have to recall another year. And also, on that road, we keep ours from our station here, where we still have the dirt part. We keep that maintained, we keep the grass down in it, everything. But you come around those corners there, you can't see anything.
But for the record, you're saying your road is rough, but you won't allow us to put rock on it for your
No, I'm
request.
not asking for rock on the road.
Okay.
All I'm asking you to do is to come out and look at the ditches and stuff that are in there, because there's drop-offs that I could throw a body in, you couldn't find it. there are lots of drop-offs. It's
So if
not
we
just
can't haul
water.
rock in, what are we gonna put in there?
Well, no, y'all just about fill the ditches up with rock. I'll be real honest with you, y'all don't take any of the rock away from the sides, it all goes to the ditches, so we just about don't have any ditches out there. If y'all could get out there and let's talk about it, nobody's ever come to the house and I've asked you about it before, and I just would like to get something done about our road there, because it's almost impassable. Y'all come out there and put the poison out on the grass, that's great, but the grass is still all over the road, and it almost, you know, of course, you can't get two cars by there, you have to stop, and I know that. But there's drop-offs, and when you drive vehicles, when we drive nice vehicles, we like to keep them pretty nice.
I agree.
And you just come out, we could walk down the road and do it, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to get ugly about it,
Sure.
but I have asked before, and I don't seem to get any response, and I went through 3 surgeries, so I've had plenty of time to have had something done in between the first time I talked to you today. So that's what I'd like to have done.
All right.
And that's the main thing that I want to talk about.
All right, well, thanks for coming
And
in.
I had some others on the list, but he already covered them.
Okay.
Any other public comments? Please, go ahead.
My name is Bill Isham. I reside out at 249 Belknap Street. I'm basically here to voice objections to building the RV park inside the grounds of the fort. The fort is a very compact area. It's a historic site. It's registered with the state and the United States. And I don't believe it needs to be inside the fort compound. That's a historic area. Other forts have had similar, they do have RV campgrounds, but Fort Griffin, their campground is located across the highway, completely out of sight and sound from the actual fort itself and the buildings and the construction and the structures. Basically the same with Fort Richardson. And I have sent emails to Scott and to you, sir, and you very kindly responded. And I would like to see that construction project cease and be revisited and re-thought about. And if it's going to be located anywhere, I believe it needs to be located across the highway on the 8 acres that the county purchased, which is an ideal location if the county wants to operate on it, as opposed to inside. And I cannot see any reason, legitimate reason for placing it inside. I have all that's required. If it's an inconvenience to the port director, all that's really required for across the street is signage and self-pay boxes and a couple of drive-through audits daily to confirm who's there, who's paid, who hasn't paid. And it would be pretty much not out of sight necessarily, but out of sound from the residents on the fort. I have spoken to all of my neighbors that actually reside on the Fort Circle, except for one. And I did by word of mouth find out what she thought about it. None of us on the Fort Circle itself knew anything about this until rock started being spread. We didn't know that the decision had been made to not put it across the highway, and we didn't know that it was going to be put inside the fort. Now, obviously, I have personal interest in it, but I have posted on Facebook, Rants and Raves, Anything Newcastle, and my personal page, and virtually all of the feedback that I have received on that has been negative towards putting RVs inside the building, inside the compound. People just don't believe it belongs there. And I'm here to request that any construction cease and this whole endeavor be rethought. All that has happened so far that I can see is that Star Supply, Plumbing, Electrical has put a water meter in out on the highway. And the baseball backstop has been removed. And one stretch of gravel has been placed right near the rear of the fort on the rock wall. under the pecan trees, by the way. I visited with the Star employee, and he kind of gave me the rundown of what the plan was, because I had not seen her do anything about it. He just happened to be out there that day. And apparently there's going to be 8 to begin with, 14 eventually, and there was some minutes from a previous meeting, I believe, where people were voicing their opinions about it. And I suppose there were people that didn't want it to cross the highway. One of the reasons was stated in the minutes that it would put an undue burden on the utilities. Well, I found out from the Star employee, well, actually, I told him there is no water main behind Fort Belknap in that circle. I have co-op water, and my neighbors have Fort Belknap co-op water. Our lines run way out west someplace and tie into a line there. So they're gonna have to drill or trench all the way from the highway back to those RV sites on the back wall, which really makes no sense. It kind of shoots the burden on utilities in the foot, because there's no real reason. It's gonna put a burden on utilities one way or the other, except putting it across the highway. You're not drilling across the middle before Belknap to do it. I guess to sum it up, what I'm asking for is for this operation to stop and be revisited and thought about. And I believe that decision there should be a public announcement. Well, let me back up just a minute. All my neighbors, none of them knew anything about it. They knew nothing. We live right directly adjacent to the port. We're gonna have comings and goings, travelers, RVers coming in day and night, disrupting basically the neighborhood. If it's across the highway, it disrupts no one. There's a house way down there, and there's a house way over yonder. I don't see why it could not be placed across the highway rather than inside. Most people that have responded have agreed with that. They don't want it inside. So I guess what I'm asking for, if we're going to continue on with this project, I would like to see a public announcement made and a public debate held. This fort doesn't just belong to Precinct 2, Young County, and Young County Commissioners. Legally, yes, it does, but it belongs to the state and it belongs to the country because it is a historic site. And I believe it deserves more respect than that. Other forts, like I say, are just their camping areas are completely isolated, sight and sound from any of the historic buildings there still remain. So that's what I'm asking for, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Where was the previous RV hookups inside the fort? Were they on
Right
this
as you
area?
walk right from the door, lined up, right in the front.
So not where this one is, this is a different spot, but we've had RV
Yeah,
hookups in
so
there.
there are RV hookups in there, and there are hundreds of campers a year that are in there.
I'm sorry, sir, what? Oh, we're hearing that, so.
There's already camp spots inside the fort.
There are inside on the inner circle, there are water hydrants and 110 outlets that are antiquated.
They're not adequate for RV spots, and there was a public announcement, and there were the public here during that announcement, and everyone was very against it being.
Sir, I haven't seen that in the minutes, I just have not seen
Well,
it.
it happened,
But it happened,
yes, sir.
okay.
And they said, take out the backstop and put them back there. If you put them back there, you have our blessing. We fully agree with that.
But you didn't speak with anybody on the Fort Circle that actually lives in the
It was an open forum. Everybody was invited to come.
Nobody, who was invited to come?
It was posted in the newspaper and in the
I did not
minutes
see it.
online, just like all the other ones
I
are.
did not see it, I'm not here to argue with you. But also, beyond that, there are restrictions on building campgrounds. You
No,
don't
sir.
just do it.
No, sir,
It
there's no.
was just we just had an agenda. Yeah. It wasn't a public forum. People came.
It
It was just.
It was a public announcement in the minutes though, and then the public came and
Agenda
spoke.
item.
It was
Agenda
agenda,
item.
it wasn't a public agenda item, yes.
All right.
Regardless, there was a lot of people here. 15
There
or
are-
20 people here that said we do not want it across the street. So that's where we are now.
I think that needs to be revisited. I frankly do.
Okay, we appreciate your opinion.
I think that's a mistake, and I don't think enough people knew about it.
Okay.
Okay, we're not talking about building an RV park just anywhere. We're talking about putting it inside of historic.
It's already one there, though. I don't understand why you're not comprehending.
Because I comprehended, I've lived there, sir, for 25 years. Those are old sites.
That needed to be
got one
upgraded.
can electric, and they got a water hydrant. And they're not, they were never designed to accommodate big motorhomes. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, you're disrupting the entire neighborhood and the nature of the fort itself. And that's what I'm asking for.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? We'll move to the receipt of the hotel occupancy report for $6,218.92. That's for July of 2025 from the Wildcatter Ranch and Resort. We'll move to item number 4, consider the county clerk minutes from the previous meeting, August 4th and August 11th. I got them this weekend. I've made some changes. I don't know if y'all seen them yet.
I hadn't been changing.
I'm still working on the changes, but I'll send those in, so we'll revisit that at the next meeting. Consider the treasurer's financial report, updates on securities pledge. Treasurer Mylum?
Okay, so we made significant progress on
Yes.
reconciliations. Emailed y'all the report, so I didn't make extra copies, if that's okay.
No, we all got an email copy of it.
Okay, and I did email
So where are we up to? Which
August.
months?
August.
So August of 2024.
And, I sent these out this morning, I failed to send.
So we got one more month and we've got the fiscal year done.
Right.
Good, that means we can start our audit pretty soon. That's great news.
If it meets y'all approval, I'll sign off on it.
Yes, I know, I read them. I read them. All
I
right,
didn't find anything that stood out.
all right, do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report? Motion for Commissioner Cresswell, second for Commissioner
We
Wyland.
just go ahead and start sending them around this time.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We'll just do a big circle.
Yeah.
This has gotta go. We're gonna miss this one. Thank you.
Sign on that one time.
Hey, you're pretty good at this.
We're experienced.
All right, those all done?
You'll just need the clerk's signature.
Yeah, we'll get them all together and we'll give them to Tina. So July, June. Are those ready?
All the teams.
Oh, man, I'll get them in order. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks. Good work, Kyle. All right, let's move to item number 6. Consider the auditor's budget amendments and vouchers payable. Ms. Robert?
Fairly small run today. Total is $29,513.36, and out of the general fund is $24,513.36. big thing. We paid this ProTech $11,404. That bought us 8 of the computers that were
Oh,
needed.
good.
We also put Ann's contract labor on here this time. And then it's just a whole lot of small stuff.
Okay, we have a motion to accept by Commissioner Wiley, a second from Commissioner Craig. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
You wanna do the bids thing?
Yes, let's skip to item number 9, 9:45 a.m. Discuss and consider the Gov Deals auction bids regarding the sheriff's office vehicles.
So there were 3 put on there, a Dodge Ram pickup, an ambulance, and a bus. The bus didn't get any bids. The Dodge Ram pickup, we got a bid of $2,525. And on the ambulance, we got a bid of $1,700.
What did the sheriff think about the bids?
I told him, well, actually, when I talked to him this morning, it was before it had closed and it wasn't this much. He was busy.
Gotcha. You assume he wants to sell these?
Yes, I think so. He wants everything gone. I don't know what we're gonna do on the bus thing. I guess we're gonna try.
What kind of bus is it?
School bus.
Like a yellow dog?
It's white, short bus.
It was
Sure.
the inmates.
Oh, that they used to, I remember
Yes.
watching them they used to use that, yeah.
It's decent.
Yeah. Surely there's gotta be like a college tailgating kind of thing, to turn that into a heck of a vehicle.
Well, that'd be a historical do.
How would it look in Birmingham?
How would it look at the?
There you go. Park it over here at your.
How would it look at the scrapper? Always recycled. It look good.
We'll have to see. I mean, I guess we could take seal bids on it. We could,
Okay.
whatever you wanna do.
Well, on the bids we received, we have a motion to accept.
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Wiley, is there a second?
So,
Second from Commissioner Shook. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. At least we got rid of those. Get them off our insurance, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I don't think they were, because they haven't been used.
hold the bus or.
All right, Cheryl, don't get too comfortable because you're item number 7, discuss and consider the Verizon agreement for the phone backup in the sheriff's office in dispatch.
So they've been getting, they have a track phone, I guess, and so whenever the lines go down, and they go down out there a lot because they're voice over IP, they have a phone in there and they have to run out and get minutes for it. So, and that has been happening quite often, it's happened twice in the last week. So Verizon, Sherry has talked to Verizon and we can get a phone in there, it sets us an agreement for 2 years and it's like $40 a month. We always have it there, we have a phone number, people can call in when, I think 911 goes down.
Yeah, and I mean, they're on, they have internet phone. And I have internet phone in my office, I hate it. But, yeah, they've gotta have that backup. And so this reloads the minutes automatically.
Yeah, it just always,
Yeah.
and they won't ever go over what they have.
So this is gonna be a much better phone system. It's actually cheaper than the system we were using
It is,
before.
because when they have to go out and get that card and those, plus, like I said, then they do without phone until somebody can go buy the minutes at Walmart.
Yeah, Cheryl and I talked about this last week, looked at the contract. Do we have a motion to accept this new phone agreement with Verizon to be used at the sheriff's office?
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Wiley, is there a second? Second from Commissioner Cresswell. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. It's really gonna be a better deal for them. It's a much better deal. Item number 8, this is in your packet. We agreed to this agreement a while back, but we're just gonna ratify the interlocal agreement between the Regional Public Defender's Office, local government corporation in Young County. This is the Lubbock Public Defender's Office, the agreement that if we had a capital murder case, that they would be the public defender in that case. So it's, in essence, it's an insurance policy for us if we have a capital murder case. And it's the exact same agreement, it's just now executed. Do we have a motion to ratify the agreement?
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Cresswell, do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Craig, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
And for the record, we do have this in our budget, we were currently working.
Yes.
It's covered.
It is budgeted. Item number 10, discuss and consider the burn restrictions. We got a nice, did the whole county get the rain? I got a great rain yesterday. And the kind of the northeast, did it get up to 11?
Just outside London, they had an inch,
Uh-huh.
but earlier that Tuesday, last week, we had 3 inches.
Good.
There were some fires this weekend, and there was a call a while ago about smoke, so there were some.
Yeah, they're on one right now.
On one right now?
How's it been in Alaska? We had good rain down there?
It's been very spotty.
Yeah, it was raining hard when I left the house.
This morning?
Yeah, we got half
Oh,
inch-
that's great.
half inch so far
It was
today.
raining so hard, I had my windshield wipers on full.
That's great, okay.
And didn't rain it
Every little bit counts.
out west, it hadn't rained there.
You didn't get it? Is anyone feel inclined to take the burn ban off, or are we still comfortable with it?
I think we should leave it a little longer.
I think so too.
Good.
Jared, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, with this, on this morning's call, the Kichi Brown index showed it was pretty high for fire danger still here.
Good. You know, was it last week or so, the Forestry Service, they had moved resources here to Young County because we were the #1 kind of, or top of the list. You know, their model forecasted us for wildfires, so we're still.
At least they're able to do that right now, because usually they ain't.
Well, that's
Usually
true.
they're stuck somewhere else. They
Yeah,
can't come back.
no, that's good.
After the Panhandle fires, that legislative session, we've changed a lot of things. We're starting to push resources a lot more often. And we can't stage them, we pre-position them where they're most likely needed, so.
But you can't say stage?
No, that's
Is
a
stage a
whole
bad
different-
word?
Still
You
mean you
can't
start
get paid
fire.
for staged, but you can get paid for pre-position. So
Ah.
they're gonna pre-position things.
Always
Gotcha.
Always a
So-
loophole.
Yes.
I mean,
There's ways around everything.
Yeah, I like it.
It's all in the word.
Okay, so we're gonna go to no action on item number 10. Item number 11 is a closed session regarding personnel matters. It's covered by Texas Government Code 551.074. If we could adjourn into the jury room, and then we'll come back in.
Do you want me to go ahead and have Chase turn the camera off?
Yeah, that'd be fine, because when we come back, I'm not anticipating there's any action on this, but we are gonna move into a budget workshop after that. All right. It is 10:05.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sure, can we meet this week sometime? Okay.
Great. My name's Cliff.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Cliff Coomer. I live, my phone number and address is on the back. I live 5472. Just down from the horse. Really? Jefferson Cemetery. Are you in the White House back up there? Or the one right there?
You know what?
I'm in a little White House that's directly behind.
Bought that house from, the real estate.
Yeah.
She passed away. She-
Well, I was really,
House
the
in
sheriff's
Florida.
department, they
The smaller house is about.
they cover our costs.
It's very old, yeah. That's what Judge Bullock told me before we retired, when I first bought it. I bought it about
Yeah.
60 years ago.
Well, she left her entire estate to the new